All right, so there's guys out there who get up in the morning, right? And they may fap like as soon as they get up. And any productive thing that they have to do throughout the day, they'll procrastinate till the absolute bitter end, right? And they may not even do it. And they'll watch like a self improvement video and think to themselves, "Oh, I'm being productive," right? And they're just constantly filled with like this nervousness, and they can't quite pinpoint where it comes from, right? And their social and dating life sucks, and overall they're miserable. And these guys, they don't get anywhere. Whereas there's other guys out there who are quote unquote normal guys, right? And they seem to be achieving their goals in life almost effortlessly. I'm going to talk about the difference here specifically. I'll talk about 3 signs that you're a low value man. I'll just be honest, this video is clickbait, right? Because you're not a low value man. All this low value man stuff is such a load of shit. So I really hope to expose that in this video. I'm going to talk about why it's garbage. And ultimately, I believe the creators who are using this kind of terminology and such, they're just exploiting their audience for money, right? And I'll elaborate on that as well. And yeah, just give a lot of tidbits that I think truly will be very useful. I'm gonna focus mainly on the dating side, right? On how to improve your dating life, because that's why a lot of guys get into self improvement. That's why I got into self improvement. Yeah, so I really hope this video will help you out. And without further ado, let's dive into it. I remember clearly, I was going to this party, right? And there was these 2 girls there, and I was talking with them. And at that time, I didn't really know how to flirt. This was like a few years ago, and so I didn't really know how to flirt. So I'm sitting down with them, and back then there were other self improvement YouTubers who I'd watched who would put up like videos of them out in pubs and such. I like talking to girls, so I was basically taking like advice from them of how they'd say to communicate, and they'd have like canned lines and stuff sometimes too, right? So I was using that. And they were just these weird tactics. I'm sure some of you may be familiar where it's like, oh, try to look mysterious, pretend you're not interested when you're actually interested, all this nonsense. So anyway, I got one of the girls' numbers, and then I remember texting her after. And again, it was along the same vein, right? I don't think I ever even asked her out or anything. It was just like, oh, this is the text game lines that I learned from this guy. I'm going to use them, right? Because he seems to know what he's talking about, right? Now, what's the point I'm trying to make here? The point I'm trying to make is there's no secrets to this shit in terms of dating and stuff, right? And your intent matters a lot more than any of this text game nonsense, right? Now, the part of the problem here is these like courses and such. Oh, buy my high value text game course, bro. High value Instagram game course, bro. Like, no, take that thought, throw it way out the window. We don't listen to those people. They put a train of thought on us that doesn't serve us whatsoever. Look, as far as the dating side, right? It's a lot more about who you are rather than, oh, your high value text game mannerisms or whatever nonsense, right? And who you are is, again, an encompassing of you as a human being as a whole, right? What do you spend your time doing? Do you actually like yourself? Are you working on improving yourself, right? Are you someone who actually wants a great dating life, wants a great social life, but you just sit around, play video games all day, right? Just sitting around procrastinating on it, right? And feeling miserable inside. Well, I'm not trying to judge that whatsoever, but just recognize if that's where you're at, like subconsciously people will pick up on it, right? No matter how much high value text game course, whatever, it's not going to change anything, right? So improving your dating life is also meshed with self-improvement. And as you improve yourself, you'll change who you are. And then regardless of what text game or high value crap, whatever, you're going to get better results, right? You get what I'm saying? And the next thing that I want to touch on is intent, right? Intent matters so much. Now, what do I mean by that? If you're saying something because like, oh, I read it in this text game course and it's gonna, I hope this will get me a date. Like, again, people will subconsciously pick up on that. Whereas if you say something in terms of, I want to say this because this is, how I genuinely feel. And if people like it, great. If not, great. Now, here's an example I can use to drive that home. Say you're using like a can line, right? The intent that puts across is, or rather, if your intent with using that can line is, oh, I don't really know how to communicate, and oh, it worked for this guy, hopefully it'll work for me, that'll come across, right? Whereas if instead of using the can line, you just said, hey, I think you're attractive, do you want to go out sometime? What's the intent there? The intent is, this is how I genuinely feel. If you like it, cool. If not, cool, no problem, right? Now, which one of those 2 intents do you think people will find more attractive, right? And that's the main point I'm trying to drive across. Now, the next thing I remember is I was on Tinder, right? This is a few years ago. And I was getting like no matches whatsoever. And I would go into the bathroom, I'd like blow dry my hair for like 3 hours, trying to get like the perfect, every strand to fall perfectly, and then take like new pictures. I was like, oh, I'm a good looking guy. Why am I not getting any matches? And I do that. And I waste so much time doing that. right? So much time I've wasted on these online dating and all these apps. Basically got no results. And then I decided to embark on my fitness journey. I got abs, I got a good physique. And then, I put some pictures up, my matches started going up, right? In real life, people were attracted to me, that started going up, right? Now, what's the point I'm trying to make here? The point I'm trying to make is, again, it comes back to who you are, right? Who you are. As you improve yourself in other areas of life, your attraction and dating and such will just improve automatically, right? So improving your fitness, improving your fashion game rather than, oh, this high value stuff or whatever, right? But another point that I want to make is accepting yourself as you are is so important, right? One of the other issues I see with this high value stuff is, again, it's constantly just exploiting guys, making them feel like shit. It's like, oh, you're this low value man right now. This is the low value mannerism, bro. You got to buy my course, go on monk mode, and you're going to come back successful, and you're going to get so many girls, bro, and like everything's going to be great. Like, no, take that thought, throw it way out the window. We don't listen to those people. Again, they put a train of thought on us that doesn't serve us whatsoever. Look, the point I'm trying to make, and I'll touch on this a little bit in my last point as well, but one of the most underrated parts that I feel like is rarely touched on is just accepting yourself as you are, truly as you are, right? I tell you, when I started this self-improvement stuff, again, it was largely coming from insecurities and never having dating experience. And, even when I'd put myself out there, I'd get rejected. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on my fitness, focus on making a lot of money. And then my dating life will be great. And then everything will be great, right? This is how I was thinking. Well, I got in great shape. I make damn good money for my age, right? And I did feel better, right? Of course, I was proud of myself for what I'd accomplished, but I was still feeling very insecure. I was still feeling anxiety like I always had, right? And one of the game changers was accepting myself. And even now, like, this is the case with most of us, right? We're great at some things, not great at other things. Some, even on the looks department, some things we're blessed with, some things we're not. This is just is what it is. And now I'm learning that. Now I'm accepting myself and just putting my true self out there, right? And now my dating life's starting to improve. But hell, I could have done this 5 years ago, right? I put it off for 5 years because I was like, oh, I'm gonna make all this money. Oh, I become a high value man. Like, nonsense, right? Accept yourself as you are right now. Truly, it's one of the most underrated aspects that there are out there to improve your dating life, to improve and just improve like every aspect of your life. I truly am happy in every aspect of my life in general. Again, I'm not trying to sell a pipe dream. I still feel the anxieties. I still feel the insecurities. And, my life is not some perfect dream, but accepting yourself is so, so, so underrated. Now, next thing I remember, this happened fairly recently. I was talking to this girl, right? And at this time, I'm just looking for a casual relationship. So I was just straight up with her, like, no canned lines, no nothing. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. Let me know if you're looking for the same. If not, no problem. And guess what she said? She said, no, I'm not looking for that. Right. And I was just like, okay, cool. Have a nice day. And I bounced. Right. In the same vein, like, ever since I've started to accept myself, I've just put my true self out there, just truly, vulnerably, and just as best as I can, and just kind of had to take it or leave it mentality. I do the same thing with these videos, right? Just expressing every aspect of myself. I know not everyone will like it, not everyone will fuck with it, but it's really a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders, I feel, ever since I've led life this way. That even in dating situations, like, everything I'm honest with about on this channel, from my anxieties to my insecurities to, even my looks. I'm insecure about my looks. I don't really feel I'm that great looking. And I've talked about that many times on this channel, but obviously that's something that comes up in dating. And sometimes, I can feel very insecure around that area. And that's something I've just been open about and honest about, right? And it's not like people I've been honest about it, and they've like ran the other way. Like, I've been honest about with girls, and if anything, I felt that at least with some girls, it's made our connection deeper, right? And it largely had a positive effect, right? Now, what's the point I'm trying to make here? I touched on this a little bit earlier, but instead of some high value mannerism or whatever, just be straightforward, be honest, be yourself, and accept yourself as you are. If you're willing to accept yourself as you are, just be straightforward with your intent, being okay with rejection and all that. If you're just willing to do that, right, I guarantee you, your dating life and your social life will be, no matter where you are right now, it will improve drastically. It will improve drastically, right? If you just become okay with the fact that, okay, hey, not everyone will like you, and you put yourself out there, you accept yourself as you are, right? And you keep on putting yourself out there, I guarantee, your dating life and social life will improve drastically. At least that's been my experience. And that's going to be without buying these courses from any of these weirdos like, oh, high value. And oh my God, trust me, I could rant about that for days, but a lot of these guys are absolute weirdos. They are weirdos. Trust me, you don't want to listen to them, right? Like there may be some like it's not like I know all of them or something, but like at least some like Fresh and Fit, for example. My goodness, those are some weirdos, bro. Like those are weirdos, and I'm being like nice with the terms I'm using because I don't want to go on a full rant, but like weirdos, right? Like you don't want to get advice from people like that, right? I know you're smart enough to know again right from wrong and who's giving good advice and who's not, but just be careful with the who you get advice from. And even me, I'm not saying I'm giving like some perfect great advice. I'm young. I'm almost 26. I'm still learning these things as I go along, right? But just some of the advice, it's like some of them are just straight weirdos. So just be very careful, right? Just like toxic mindsets, all that. So be very careful with some of the content out there. Now I'll just end this video off by saying, hey, be kind to yourself throughout this process. Look, I remember my background. I was so, again, filled with anxieties and insecurities all the time, all the time. Right? I remember I'd go out in social situations, dating situations. Sometimes I'd borderline freeze because I was feeling so anxious, and just overthinking would just bombard my brain. I'm just sitting there like, like not knowing what to say, right? Or not knowing how to act, right? And this was my life for a long time. And every day, like truly every day was, some days were honestly pure misery, right? In terms of how shit I felt about my life and about myself and all these things, right? And I've touched on some of the things that have helped me. Of course, I touched on them in my other videos as well, right? And one of the things was just accepting myself as I am, rather than, oh, this is low value, or this is bad, I need to, oh, this is terrible. Again, we can find things to improve about ourselves, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with accepting yourself as you are right now and being kind to yourself throughout the process, and always, trying best to always look at the positive as much as possible, right? Like I said, I don't mean to sell a pipe dream and say this will be some perfect journey. Like rejection is definitely a part of it. Heartbreak happens, all that stuff, right? But accept yourself, be kind to yourself throughout the process. Keep on looking at the positive, because trust me, a lot of people will start the self-improvement stuff. Not a lot will see it through till the bitter end. They may get their first rejection, and then they'll kind of close up, right? And they won't pursue it anymore, right? I'm confident in you. I'm confident you will take the steps to keep moving forward, keep on improving yourself. And I look forward to seeing you improve yourself. And I look forward to seeing your progress in the self-improvement space, right? Now, I just want you to imagine for a second. Imagine you take this advice, you run with it, right? And your dating life is improving day by day by day, right? Your social life is improving day by day by day. Because again, you just put yourself out there. Truly, you see someone you want to be friends with. You're like, hey, what's up? This is me. What's your name? Hey, do you want to hang out sometime? Whatever, right? And you have a great group of friends now with you as well. But most importantly, your confidence is improving day by day by day, because now you don't put some ridiculous standard of perfection or something like this on yourself, right? You accept yourself as you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, the anxieties, the insecurities, but also, things that are great about you. We all have our skills, all the positives as well. You accept every aspect. You keep on improving daily, and your confidence and self-esteem is improving day by day by day. You hold yourself up to your standards rather than some ridiculous self-improvement. Oh, this is a high-value man standard or some nonsense, right? Imagine that. And that's the path you're on. Hey, keep working hard. Again, I believe in you, but what I believe doesn't matter. What you believe matters. So I hope you believe in yourself too. And that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Ultimately, I want this to be our positive little community where we help each other, support each other, and help each other get to the next level in life. So please come join the community. I'll leave my Instagram, TikTok in the description, also somewhere here. Please do support there as well. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Just to be transparent with what I'm trying to do here, I do want to make money from this YouTube stuff, so any support will greatly help me, so I can hire an editor and not just rant at the camera like I have for almost 15 minutes. And that would be great. Honestly, my dream life would be just to do this YouTube stuff in the morning, do my martial arts boxing in the evening, and that would just literally be my dream life, and hell, even better than that, if I can blow up on YouTube and get myself one of those YouTube boxing fights, that way I could become a better fighter and get paid millions for it. So it doesn't sound too bad. We'll see how it goes, but truly any support will really help me out and help me make my dream a reality. I'll talk to you later. Peace.